Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. We're back for some more F1 24 League Racing content. We're back for LDR Season 5. I can't remember what race it is, but we obviously, it's midway through the season. But yeah, we're back for some more LDR. Hope you guys are enjoying these types of videos. If you aren't, then I'm sorry. But yeah, we're back in LDR, and we're back around the Sao Paulo circuit of Autodromo Jose Carlos Paches around Brazil for a fantastic weekend. So yeah, we're back, and it is a sprint weekend as well, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge. But if you did not check out the last episode, please go check that out. That was actually around Mexico of LDR, and it didn't really go the best, but we ultimately made it happen. So, like I said in the previous video, we are taking another energy penalty this weekend. That was clear. I did say I was going to take one in Brazil, and because Brazil is kind of one of my stronger tracks, so we decided to take another one here. So we're hoping that it can it might as well just try to get some of these energy penalties out the way, just so the rest of the season we can push on. So yeah, here we go. Obviously, big weekend for us for Ferrari. We've kind of closed that gap down a little bit in the constructors a little bit, but here we are, and our first run actually was really well. To be fair, the rain is coming, but we set a 108.295, so that was not a bad lap on the soft tires, and that's actually ahead of everybody else, so that was a really good lap that we were able to achieve. And some guys, they actually went out on mediums, and now here comes the rain. It is supposed to be, they used the realistic weather radar, so that is something. If you guys didn't know, they used the realistic weather, and well, it did say it was going to rain a little bit, and it was going to rain in the sprint race towards the end of SQ1, and it's proved out here. We had a massive tank slapper through that part of the track, and well, now the track's really starting to get wet. So yeah, so hey, I'm not complaining, because guess what? We're P4. We're second off the pace from Zox, so 2/10 off Reimer, 4/10 off King Pro, and yeah, so I guess we could say we kind of got lucky. I mean, Carlos almost got us there by almost a little bit. So, yeah, I made a little mistake in the middle sector, which actually cost us just quite a little bit of time. But I'm still confident, and, well, we hope for the best. So here we go. Rain towards the midway through the sprint race, which is going to make it a bit challenging. We're going to go onto the soft tires, and then we're going to push. Well, we're just going to push all the way to the end of the soft tires. So I was thinking about the medium tires a little bit, but I don't think the mediums are really the right option. So we're going to go to the soft tires here. 12 laps here. We can obviously qualify for the sprint, but this is where we're going to really get some points here. Lights out, and when we go for the sprint race here around Sao Paulo, we actually get a horrible start, and actually Carlos actually jumped us right off the line, same as Knight as well. Knight goes down the inside on King Pro. Reimer had an amazing start, as Knight just completely... I don't know if I turned in or he didn't give me space, but we made a little bit of contact, so that's quite unfortunate. But anyways, we keep on pushing on, and here comes Emmanuel. Now, Emmanuel's been really aggressive, and he's actually probably one of the fastest guys in this league, so that's someone we really want to keep behind. And him and Chuck Bob are going at it, same as Supreme as well, so it's going to be very challenging to hold these guys off very well. So through the middle sector we go. Our teammate is in P2, Zox is sitting in P1, Carlos now sits P3. And the letter P and Knight are actually going at it. We go down the inside of the letter P, and he kind of defends that really well. So I was thinking about going down the inside. Now we're going to possibly go around the outside of the letter P. He defends the inside line. I'm going to try to go around the outside here. It's very tight. He's a little bit lagging just a little bit. We cut the curb a little too much, but he's going to stay ahead. He got a much better exit than what we did, and he's going to ultimately prevail. So, and then we get pushed on the grass just a little bit. Here comes Chuck Bob, Monkey, and even Supreme as well. Chuck Bob goes down the inside on us, so we go very wide, compromising our line, and we've actually lost quite a bit of positions on this opening lap, which is really not that great. And Chuck Bob is able to sneak through, so this is not going so well for the sprint. We're really struggling at the start here, and we'll just have to keep pushing on. But anyways, Carlos and I think it's Carlos and Knight, or that was Knight. Knight's up there in P5, and that's the letter P actually. Carlos and Chuck Bob are actually going side by side. Not really a corner to overtake. I'm really trying to, but we ultimately prevail. And here comes us, as we're actually going to try to get around Carlos and Chuck Bob at the same time. But Chuck Bob, he's going to keep his line. We're going to try to go down the inside. Carlos possibly coming with a late send. No, he does not. We go around the outside. Knight actually makes contact with the letter P, and Carlos just hit us in the back of the tire, so common that Carlos hits you when he doesn't need to. And, well, we're going to get around Chuck Bob, and now we try to push back up to letter P, but yeah, this has not gone well. This has really not gone well, and we lost a lot of positions at the start, which really cost us quite a bit of time, and Chuck Bob is still out of the back of us now, so he doesn't really want to. I guess he doesn't really care for trying to get up to the letter P, so he's going to mainly just fight for positions. But the rain has started to fall here in Sao Paulo, and the letter P is in P4. Reimer and King Pro, they do not have the pace to catch up to Zox, but King Pro actually comes into the pits. I think he's going to gamble here and go into the intermediates. Now, I don't think this track is going to be inters, but he's going to try something, and he's maybe going to see if it sticks, but we're going to stay out. This is going to be some Timo Glock 2008 style with Toyota. That's what I'm seeing this as. But now the soft tires, we burnt the soft tires quite a lot, and well, the letter P is pulling away, and Chuck Bob has got amazing pace, and Emmanuel is absolutely flying on the racetrack as well. So he is got some pace as well. But Chuck Bob is all over the back of us now. He might go for a send down in number 1. We're braking a little bit early because the tires are really starting to fall off now. We're still in the DRS of the letter P, but I don't think it's that close enough. So I feel like it's gonna be a bit of a challenge, I guess you could say. So we keep pushing though, no matter what, and we'll just have to try our best. But the letter P still extends the gap, and on lap 10 now, still trying to push ahead. We've actually lost the back end just a little bit, and Chuck Bob is gonna easily come to sneak through, and he might get another position on us if we don't really defend this quite well. He goes around the outside. We're going to defend the inside line. Might as well just defend now because, well, it's the last 2 laps, so someone's got to go for it. But Chuck Bob, give him enough space on the exit. Chuck Bob, he's losing the back end just a little bit. He's losing the car a little bit. And Emmanuel and CMS, here come the mediums runners, and Chuck Bob, and me and him, or Chuck Bob, are sliding everywhere, and my teammate, he's actually sliding all over the place as well. So we're all kind of struggling. But King Pro, maybe you have did the right strategy because he's still out there on those inters, and Chuck Bob goes for a spin, and we capitalize on Chuck Bob, and Emmanuel still in P5, and he's actually going to possibly get P4 because these tires are now really cooked and there's no grip. I mean, we're all struggling for grip now, and it's really bad. You can see the amount of slides I'm having through that part of the track. Here comes Emmanuel now with the DRS. He's actually really close. He might go for a send here down the inside. Here comes Emmanuel. No, he does not. That is someone I want to hold off because this guy is fast if you put him in clean air, but we're still hanging on. CMS is still in there as well, but we go to this part. This is where we're really struggling on the tires a little bit, and you can see we're losing the back end. Another slide, and it's just competent with the slides, and here comes Amanda on the inside. We give him enough space, but yeah, we got no traction. I mean, no traction. Amanda goes around the outside, and we're still, the amount of grip, we just don't got any grip out here whatsoever, and we're losing. The rear locking is bad. Everything is bad, and it's not looking that great. But King Pro, like I said, he's on those intermediates, but he is catching. He is very much catching all of us. So he actually made a right gamble. But Reimer's doing a really good job because Zox has kind of actually cooked his tires. Reimer actually managed them through the race, and he's actually catching up to Zox. So we don't got the pace to Reimer much. I guess you could say we kind of just got all screwed up on that race start because we lost so many positions. But last lap of the Grand Prix, here comes CMS. We're going to go down the inside of CMS. Might as well fight this as much as we can, but go down the inside. CMS might go for a switchback here, and he's thinking about it, and he's actually, I think he's just spun out. He's gone for the wall. We've actually lost the back end again, so we've lost more positions, and we got no grip whatsoever. We're really struggling for traction. CMS is able to get on the traction so much quicker than what we are, but we're really struggling now. Rassam and Supreme are fighting for the last point position, but yeah, and Hemikid's a lap down, so he's not really in our race. Hemikid's just on his own, but we still push on. Zox wins the Grand Prix for Aston Martin, and he does. Well, he wins it again, and we got nothing really to say because we really just struggled on the tires. We can't even go full throttle because we just don't got grip out here. So if we go anymore, we're going to probably aquaplane, but it's going to be P7. We tried. Ultimately, it just didn't work out. And, yeah, so just really messed up the start in the sprint and lost quite a bit of position. So it's just unfortunate that if that's all it is, it's just really unfortunate. So Yeah, we'll just have to see what we can do in the main race, but I still think that we can get something going, and I still believe that. So yeah, we'll just try our best in the main race and see what happens for this Grand Prix. So yeah, anyways, main quality now. We're just scuffing up a set of mediums. That's it, because obviously we're taking an edge penalty, so I can't do a lap if we're taking an edge penalty. But yeah, there's the grid. Zox gets pole. Headed King Pro. Reimer as well taking an engine penalty for Ferrari, so both the Ferraris starting from the back. So it is going to be a bit of a challenge here today, and ultimately we'll have to try our best to push up to the front of the grid. But yeah, we got a lot of quick guys around us, so we'll see what happens. Here we are on the grid for the Brazilian Grand Prix, 36 laps. It's going to be a challenging one, but it's going to be a really fun one. So obviously a dry race, we're going to go aggressive. We're going to start on the soft tires, and we're going to go all the way to basically as far as we can on the softs and see how many positions we can gain here. But yeah, no messing around. We're going to try to charge up this field. Same with Reimer as well. 5 red lights, and we're now underway for the Brazilian Grand Prix. We actually don't really get the best start off the line. Reimer didn't really get a great start as well, and the amount of smoke was really bad. But down to turn number 1, I'm not going to fight too hard on my teammate, and Nightcats has actually gone straight off in the Red Bull, and actually him and Hemikid now, they're going side by side. I don't know if Hemikid's taking an engine penalty or what, but he's starting in the hard tire, so he's going to the end. But now Rassam, here comes Reimer through the middle, 3 wide down there as well, down this back straight here. And Reimer goes down the inside, and we're going to go around the outside of Rassam, and we're going to get ahead of Rassam now. Reimer and Hemikid, so they're fighting for those positions, and now we're going to try to sit behind here and try to fight with Hemikid, maybe just kind of take it easy on him, because I really don't want to be too aggressive and cook the tires up. But Carlos has actually had a moment somewhere. I don't know what happened to him, but I'll try to go down the outside of Hemikid. Fortunately not. Might someone down the inside? No, we don't. And Hemikid gives us enough space. Rassam still find that well in the medium tires, so we got someone to watch out for. Rassam. Nightcats as well. He is someone to watch out for as well on the soft tires as well. So there's a lot of fast drivers back here that could charge up this grid, but we need to really make some moves here. And Reimer's actually made up some really good positions. He's actually caught, like, I believe 5 positions already, so he is absolutely flying. But around Hemikid we go on the soft tires. We're going to get around Hemikid now, and we charge after Carlos now. And Hemikid's going down the inside, so he's going to fight this, but we get around him finally. And Supreme in the Alpine, he's had a moment somewhere. I don't know what happened to him, but he had a moment. And Carlos, Eferzi, and Emmanuel are next up. Reimer is up there in a really good position now. He's actually up to P7, I believe. So he's had an amazing start. But Carlos Moya is next up, and I really want to get around him now, but we need to kind of see what happens. But he's in the slipstream of Eferzi as well, so they're still very tight. But we just have to wait to see what happens if Carlos, punts Eferzi off. I doubt he will, but he's around the outside of Eferzi. Eferzi's got the inside line. He goes very wide, locks up a little bit on the inside, but ultimately they got a better accident than what I did, so we let them go, and we're going to try again on lap 4. Honestly, Eferzi would probably be the next target before Carlos. That's obviously the ultimate goal, but yeah, just having to stay patient and being smart with the overtakes. Now lap 3 time. It is time to get around Eferzi. Again, the soft tires, I got so much pace on these soft tires, and I want to use the best of them while I have it. So Eferzi's next up, and we are now in the points. So points are now in position, and Carlos is next up, and Emmanuel as well. Carlos made a little bit of a mistake through that point. I don't know if he had just a little bit of a loss at the back end or something, but something happened, and there's a yellow flag behind us. I don't know if someone has just spun out. I don't know what just happened, but someone had a moment somewhere, and well, fortunate for them, that might have been Rassam in the Williams, but Carlos is next up. Purple sector 1, so we did a really good purple sector, really crappy middle sector following Carlos, so I think we honestly would have set the fast lap of the race. Maybe I'm just being a little too cocky, but yeah, so we get around Carlos, and I'm going to try to break this toe from the DRS, because Carlos does not like to play smart when it comes to racing. It doesn't matter where you are, he just doesn't care, and he will do everything in his power to try to get around you. So yeah, so we break the toe again from Carlos, and he might send one down the inside. We're gonna give him... Oh, no, he doesn't. So we kind of block off the inside line so he doesn't go for it. But Emerson has actually gone off track. We got to get around Emerson. He unghosted off the track, which actually made it a little bit difficult. And we lost time from that because Emerson had a moment. And, well, that's just really unlucky, I guess you could say. So we have to try to get right back around Carlos. And this is not really a position I really want to be if I want to use the best of these soft tires, because I want to close that gap down to Emmanuel. But we got to go around the inside of Carlos. Here comes a late break, late on the brakes. He's probably one of the latest on the brakes, and he just completely doesn't give us enough space on the exit, so that's a little bit controversial. Now Emerson sneaks right past through, and Eferzy might go down the inside. Knight might as well, but him and Carlos and Emerson are side by side. We've actually made a mistake through that part. We just didn't have enough of the car. But Knight, he's going around the outside, so I probably shut the door a little too much, and I think Knight has just spun out because I heard someone's wheels go crazy, and yeah, Knight has spun out. So that's I hope I'm not at fault for that, maybe a little bit. And actually Emmanuel's had a moment somewhere. He's actually spun out on the medium tires, so I don't know what happened to Emmanuel, but yeah, I mean, now at this point I want to close this gap, and I don't think we're really going to close it if we're just sitting behind these guys. And a VSC has now been deployed, so Reimer's chucked through the field. He's actually gone to CMS and King Pro, so again, I think if we just get into clean air, I think we can get around it. But Emerson, he's actually spun out on VSC, and that's an illegal overtake on Emerson. I don't know how that maybe is, but we have to give up. We're afraid we're going to give up 2 positions. Here comes Emmanuel now, and we've actually lost 2 positions because for some reason Emerson had some sort of a moment, and he spun out and completely kind of shafted us. So now we've lost even more positions. So this race has really not gone the way we wanted to on lap 10 now. Emerson and Emmanuel are fighting for positions, and this is just silly. So again, this is not what I needed. Emerson, I thought he just hit the back of Emmanuel, but safety car is out. Dan the Man is out of the race. I think he was a reserve, or he's a tier 2 driver. I don't know what happened to him, but he had some sort of a moment. And well, now we push, and well, we'll just have to go pit for the safety. So yeah, we're gonna go to the hard tires, I believe. I think we're going hards. I don't think we're going mediums. We might go mediums. I think yeah, these are hard tires. So we're just gonna go to the end on the hard tires. See what happens. Maybe just try to gain some positions. I mean, I don't know. Again, you never know what's gonna happen. There could be another safety car in this race. You never know. So there's always safety cars in tier 1. It seems like, even though we all try to race and not cause safety cars, but safety cars seem to be common in this league. So I guess you can say that you can always count on a safety car, but kind of backing up the fact, we've actually got caught napping quite a lot, and we're backing up the field a crazy amount. Oh, because someone else actually backing up the field. That's Zox is backing up the field. So I thought we got caught napping there for a minute, but here comes Knight now. He's got amazing, I think he's on the medium tire, so he's going to have better rubber than what we do, and obviously his tires are going to he's going to have a pace advantage over the hard tires. So yeah, a safety car restart's already going nuts. Emerson's had some sort of a moment, so we're going to try to get around Emerson here. We're going to be running all the battery, I guess you could say, but we also have to defend from Knight as well. So let's go see who's last on the brakes. We'll go down the inside of Emmanuel, and Emerson has actually made a mistake somehow. He's actually gone straight on in the V carb, and Nightcats, he's fighting down the inside and gets that move done. So Knight down the inside, he was able to make that move, and that really helped him out quite a bit. So good for him ultimately. But yeah, very all over the place, I guess you could say. But him and Nightcats, they made contact. CMS had some sort of moment. CMS actually has had a moment because he's actually down all the way in P12. So I don't know if he spun out or something, but one of the front runners has had a moment somewhere. We're going to try to get around Nightcats in the Red Bull versus Ferrari all over again. Knight locks up, and Hemikid's had a moment somewhere. So there's all sorts of chaos going around in this field. And actually, Carlos oh my god, he just punted the wall. Holy crap, that almost just been a race ender. Holy crap. Nearly checked my pants for a brown spot because that was pretty scary. So, yeah, that was scary, but yeah, so we keep pushing on. And next up is Emmanuel and the letter P. So we got now we really caught up to the front of this pack, and our teammate Reimer, he's he's in those podium places. He's fighting with Eferzy. Eferzy has not pitted yet. He's still, I believe he started the race on the hard tire, so he's absolutely holding this train up. And I think whoever's up there, I think that's Chuck Bob and the Red Bull that's up there as well. So there's some big names up there, I guess you could say. And here comes King Pro down the inside of Eferzy. So they're making some moves, and they're making a lot of moves. So here they go. And, well, the moves are working. Unfortunately, we got to try to get around these guys as well. So squabbling isn't really going to help, and it's mainly just because to keep CMS behind. But also CMS, if CMS could also catch us up, we can maybe get to the top, because I feel like that's someone I want to work with, because I feel confident we can get around these guys. Emmanuel is going to be probably the hardest one to overtake, because that guy is absolutely quick and clean air, and I truly mean that by heart. But we'll go down the inside of Eferzy, and Emmanuel is next up. So I would like to get around Emmanuel here, but he's gonna have some DRS. Emmanuel doesn't really have the best race IQ. He doesn't really like to work with people. He just kind of likes to run his own race, but he gives us space down the inside finally, which he didn't do that back in Coda, unfortunately, but he gives us just enough space now, so he's learned a little bit of racecraft. But he gives us, he maybe shut the door a little too much, and Knight is going to go right down the inside again. So same corner as Knight's and he's had some sort of a moment, Knight has, but it seems like everywhere you go, Knight is there, and, well, he's charging in the Red Bull, I guess you could say, and I think he's just had a moment somewhere, because I think that's him retiring from the Grand Prix. Still away in last. I don't know if he just spun out on his own. He did. I think something happened tonight, because he's retired from the race now. So I don't really get why they retire when that happens. I guess you could say because you never know if there's a safety car, which makes sense. But I mean, you kind of never know. It's always hard to judge, I guess you could say. But we get around Emmanuel, and next up is the letter P. The letter P does not have I wouldn't say he has the best pace to King Pro, but his pace is not that quick. But in that front, Reimer and Chuck Bob and King Pro, which actually I was in a voice call with King Pro and Reimer, and they actually we were all kind of trying to communicate together. Now Reimer's in the Mercedes, not Reimer, King Pro's in the Mercedes, so he's not really in the team, but we're kind of trying to chat with him to kind of see if he what he was thinking, and plus him and Reimer are really good friends, and they really weren't happy with what Chuck Bob was doing, because he wasn't actually working together with them, because Reimer said he wanted to try to catch up to Zox, because if they could just DRS share back up to Zox, they could maybe even get the pace. But Zox also has a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, but unfortunately no one really wanted to work. Chuck Bob didn't want to work with them. He just did not want to work with them. So it's really just unfortunate, but I mean, we can maybe catch up to the letter P, but we ultimately checking race data at the end of the race, we had one of the fastest cars in clean air. We had really good pace tonight, and we're showing it right now. We're up to P5. So starting from the back and we're all the way up to P5 with some luck, but man, we have really good pace. Now I'm going to try to catch up to King Pro now in the Mercedes, but obviously when you don't get the DRS, though, it's kind of difficult, but we're not close enough there. King's pace is kind of not really that great. We make a little mistake. We lock up a little bit. And now Emmanuel, he's in the DRS and same as CMS. So maybe if the letter P can get right back around me, we could possibly get up to maybe King Pro. But King Pro also got DRS as well. So we'll just see what the letter P has. And obviously, like I said, if Chuck Bob and them, if they just keep on fighting, then we're just going to get into their DRS train. So it's just kind of how it is. So if we just kind of sit behind letter P, we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is all sorts of chaos, I guess you could say, in this race. All sorts of chaos. And it's good chaos. And now we're actually in the DRS of King Pro. And I think King Pro's got some damage. I believe he has a broken front wing. And I believe on the voice call he said Chuck Bob maybe took his wing out. So that was just really unfortunate for King. He had really strong pace, I guess you could say, in that Mercedes. Probably one of the more quicker guys in this league as well. Same as Reimer. There's a lot of quick guys in this league, which make it good because hopefully it kind of pushes me to the extreme to maybe go faster in the future. But we definitely are on their pace, which is a really good sign. But here comes King and the letter P. They're racing side by side. They've actually made some contact, the letter P and King Pro. They've actually slammed to the wall. King Pro's out of the race. And a safety car has been deployed with 10 laps to go. Something has happened in the something happened between those two. I don't know what really happened, but down there somewhere someone has made a mistake, and that is just really unfortunate. And Emmanuel he actually played it smart. He actually pitted. I don't know if he knew that. I don't know if he just knew there was a safety car coming, but he made a gamble and it worked. And we're going for the soft tires. People are going for the mediums, but we're going for the soft. And Emmanuel's actually going for the soft. So right when you think you get away from Emmanuel, you don't. So he is definitely one of the dark horses to possibly win this race. But CMS, he's pitted for the mediums as well. So we've only lost one position. We had a double stack down in Ferrari. Quite unfortunate because me and Reimer are just. It's just kind of unfortunate when you got two quick teammates. But all games are settled. It's 6 laps to go, and we actually get caught napping quite a bit. We got caught jumping right off the start, and it was not a so good start. I guess you could say we're almost out of DRS range. We might even get out of DRS range of CMS. They've actually had a rocket ship at the start, but we get right back in that phase, and we're on the soft tires, so we're going to have a pace advantage over a lot of these guys. But I think Emmanuel's not really going to want to work with Reimer, I guess you could say. So it's just really, I guess he's just trying to play really aggressive and see what happens. But yeah, anyways, here's CMS, and he's maybe, I feel like, I don't know what's going on with CMS because I feel like, again, he's on the medium tires, but it's be interesting to see what he can do in the clean air and if he can really catch up or he's just playing conservative. But I want to get around CMS as fast as I can, and I would like to get around Emmanuel for a podium, but I feel like I maybe have the pace to Zoc. I'm not sure, but my teammate's he's not so very pleased if I put him under pressure because he's kind of in the podium. So I kind of told him if I was close enough, he was thinking about letting me by, but he wasn't really interested in that. So ultimately, we'll just have to see what happens, and if not, we'll just have to do a Carlos Sainz to Charles Leclerc in Las Vegas 2024 to get around Reimer, because I know we want to work together, but I have a feeling I could probably maybe catch up to Zox and maybe get into the 3 seconds that he has. I'm very confident, but Emmanuel does not care. He's actually just going to fight for positions, and he's really defending much, so he definitely does not care for anything. He's got a 3-second time penalty. It doesn't matter. He honestly, his whole goal is to not have Reimer get the win, I feel like. But he locks up quite considerably, and Reimer cuts off his nose pretty aggressively in the Sauber. So he's definitely cutting his nose off, and he may be, that's so close. He's so close. He kind of came off the track a little bit. We've actually got compromised on the exit from that. He actually went back onto the race line. I don't know if he saw me or not. I mean, there are red proximity arrows that are pointing my way, but I don't know if he saw it. But we're in the DRS now of Emmanuel, but he does not care. He wants to get around Reimer. I was thinking about going 3 wide and even fighting for that position, but Reimer goes very late on the brakes on Emmanuel, so it is very tight, I guess you could say. But yeah, it is very tight, but I'm going to try to get around Emmanuel now. I got the DRS, I got the slipstream, but unfortunately we're just not that close enough. But there goes Emmanuel right around Zox. So, I mean, no, not Zox, Reimer. So, yeah, it doesn't matter. We honestly just have to fight for the podium. But here comes CMS with a big send down the inside. But what a move from CMS. We didn't defend the inside line. We probably maybe should have, but I didn't think he was going to send it there. But he does not care. He sent it, and he made that move done. And here comes the letter P down on the inside in the McLaren. So both the McLaren boys are up there as well. So it is absolutely chaos in this field, I guess you could say, with all sorts of big names up here. So yeah, it is absolute chaos in this race. Absolute chaos. And well, we'll have to see what happens. But here comes CMS on, I think, Reimer. So there is absolutely an amazing fight for P2 in this race. And they're still side by side, and here comes Emmanuel as well. So I'm telling you, if you give Emmanuel clean air, he can take off. But again, he's not clearly taking off in the softs. We're really cooking these softs up. So now we got to get right back around Emmanuel. I'm losing my breath here. This has actually been a chaotic race in this Grand Prix. But Emmanuel's actually harvesting quite a bit, so I don't know if he used up the best of his performance, but he used up most of his battery. Obviously, you do burn a lot of battery in 24. I will say that, even though I've said that like multiple times. But we're going to burn the battery on Emmanuel. He might fight this still down the inside, but we get around him as well. We're going to brake a little bit later than what he did, but now we're all over the back of our teammate and also CMS. So we are in comfortably for the podium position. We actually got compromised on the exit. We actually got a horrible exit. Probably one of the worst exits we've had in the phase of this lap. We definitely were having some really good exits, but that kind of caught us out by maybe like a tenth or so. I feel like we could have got a lot close, but Here come the Ferrari boys, last lap of the Grand Prix. Can we get around CMS? So CMS, he's defending the inside, but we're just not close enough, and we can't really get on the traction fast enough because we're going to spin out. But man, CMS is just able to he just held it off perfectly fine. Reimer breaks the toe, but I don't think it's close enough, and I really don't think it is, so it's kind of unfortunate, but it is going to come down all the way to the wire because Ferzi is all over the back of us as well, but we're going to burn all the overtake through the last part up the hill. We actually got a really bad exit, and this is not going to help us out. We actually gone out very wide. Zock's going to win the Grand Prix, but it's not over yet. Here comes Ferzi, shades of Fernando Alonso and Sergio Perez back in the 2023 race, and we get ahead of Ferzi. We get P4, starting from the back, able to manage to get a P4 in this race. Absolutely amazing strategy. What a race that was. And I've never been so happy with the P4, but we needed this result, and we got a big result. So, man, this was needed, and I was very happy, very happy. So, yeah, man, something about Brazil and me, we have a really good relationship. But, yeah, that was crazy. So, there's your results. Reimer gets a P2 for Ferrari, P2 and 4. Really good points for the Constructors' Championship. Overall, I'm very happy with that. And yeah, so all that, all love, but yeah, absolutely amazing race, and ultimately we'll have to see what happens, but yeah, crazy race. I got no words. I'm just very happy. So yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate everybody's supporting this channel. I love you all, and I am working on a big video, so stay tuned for that. But thank you all for watching this video, and I will see y'all in the next one.